you going, all you amazing people? I am the Reverend Raph, one half of the Two Dudes Talk Music team, and I am here today to introduce you guys to our interview that we have for you. So we had the opportunity very, very recently to interview a very, very talented man, the sole remaining original member of FLESHGOD APOCALYPSE. We are talking, of course, about Francesco Paoli. He has filled many, many roles in the band over the course of the career. And look, they've got a new album coming out. They have Opera that is coming out on August 23rd. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for that one. And he was kind enough to spend some time speaking with us about, the album, about the accident and recovery that inspired the album, his thoughts on AI. He shared some of those, and just on just trying to be a better person in general, and just perspective in life. So thank you very, very much for watching this one. We really appreciate that, and we're going to jump right into that one right now. Thank you very, very much, Francesco, for joining us today. We very much appreciate you taking the time to chat with us all the way on the other side of the world. It's a pleasure to meet you, and so let's just dive right in here. Obviously, we're here to talk about the new album, Opera, that's coming out soon. It's coming out the 23rd of August, I believe, is the date for that one.
Sorry.
And look, that is, this album, I believe you've described it as kind of the journey from, for those that may not be aware, obviously you had an accident a few years ago. There was, a bit of an injury there. Things were kind of touch and go for a little while.
A bit of an injury.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much detail you're comfortable with.
It was a fucking disaster, man.
Okay. Well, so let's talk about that.
My body, they scotch taped my body a lot.
Scotch tape. Wow.
Well, I mean, the bones injury and the nerves injuries were severe. So it wasn't it was a life-changing, experience for me. So yes,
you're doing better now, though. You recovered. You're all,
I'm doing I feel 110%, but. One thing is your own perception. One thing is reality. Reality says that it's. I'm doing better. It's a long process. Now I'm on 21st of August. It's gonna be 3 years, wow. And I'm almost okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're glad to hear that you've been able to sort of walk that road to recovery and find yourself back playing music again. Because if you're okay with us sort of mentioning it, there was I understand some nerve issues with your arm that were potentially risking your ability to play. But that's kind of what this album is about, right? It's your journey from that accident through the recovery, the physical recovery, the mental recovery.
Exactly.
How has it been for you to revisit so much of that through the writing and recording of this album, or did it kind of get written through that recovery process as you were?
It got written through, but I had many ups and downs. I mean, right after the accident, I felt the urge, I would say, to do something like that. Okay, this is so insane in a bad way that if I don't put it into music, I'm going to lose one opportunity artistic-wise, because when you are in that kind of situations, you really have a lot to say, you're almost afraid of losing details with time because you tend to forget. So we wanted to impress, let's say we wanted to photograph that moment, and that's what we've done. So right after I was dismissed from the hospital, I went back home, and me and Francesco started writing, even if I was bedridden, and I was singing the melodies, and he was writing the guitars with MIDI, because it was super fucked up situation. And then in the meantime, I started thinking about writing the lyrics about this and how I wanted to do it with this dialogue style, that meets the opera overall style of the album. But as I said, I had a lot of up and downs. I mean, many times I felt like I wanted to do that, and many other times I felt like, oh shit, I'm putting my own fragilities and my own weaknesses and everything, into this, and I'm not sure I want to do it. I'm not even sure if I want it to look like that, because in a way, when you like describe this kind of things and you put these things in the lyrics, people get to know you much deeper. And I'm a very private guy, so sometimes it's like, I don't know. But in the end, I felt this like part of the recovery process. I mean, like every time I was writing something like that and I was sharing it with the others, I kind of felt relieved, I would say. Like I felt like, okay, I'm sharing this pain with these people. I'm sharing my fears. I'm sharing my obsessions, my frustration with these people, and that made me feel better. So after a while, like say 6 months, I started believing that writing about this was the way to heal. I mean, physically talking, like, of course, you have to do rehab, you have to do surgeries, you have to do all this kind of shit. But that is an important part, but you cannot just rely on that, because your mind, when something like this, when you lose something, is super fucked up. If you can lose something, you can lose someone, you can have like a disastrous time in your life. And when these kind of things happen, you always think, I can fix it with a new job, I can fix it with a new girl, I can fix it with a new friendship or whatever. But it's not like that. You have to fix it in your mind first, and to do it, you have to try to like take a step back and say, okay, here I am, people, here who I am, just accept me so I can accept myself as well, and start the process of forgiving. So that's the. Sorry, guys. This sounds like a
no,
sorry.
man.
Thank you for opening up about that. Thank you.
I mean, it's really good that you're talking about healing internally before you can sort of heal externally.
Exactly.
Having that support
the two things
structure
goes together. The two things go together, because if you don't do one of the two, then you will never heal for real. And you will never able, if you don't heal like 100%, which is what it's happening to me. Like I will never be like before. Okay, and it's the hardest thing to do is accepting it, because I felt invincible till then, and I was super arrogant and stupid. I thought, I really thought I could never die, but in the end, you can't die like as an artist through your heart, but you can die physically and mentally, even when you're still alive, if you don't do anything to fix it while you're alive. So because at my age, I spent all my life, I invested all my life into music, into art, and I really risked to be forced to stop my activity as an artist, because of this, which was dying basically. And mentally speaking, is same thing. If you never recover from that, if you can't accept your handicaps that stay forever, you cannot do that, then you're same thing. It's like dying, because you just you cannot carry on. You cannot keep doing what you've been doing for all your life. So
yeah, I mean, you mentioned there, you kind of felt like invincible, like you could never die, right? Is that where was that where the song on this album came from? Is that
well, that aspect, is treated more like in other songs like Pendulum, or like throughout the album, there's the story, which is basically the real story, and it's just put in a poetical way, like a dialogue with some entities or persons that I had in my life throughout this long time, like 2.5 years, let's say. But I Can Never Die is more about the fact that when this happened, like I started to like question. I had to have many questions to ask to myself, if I was proud, like if I was dead today, if I was, things could have go much worse. Would have been proud of what I've done in my life. Was I a good son? Was I a good husband? Was I a good father? I started to think about these things. And it's a mind fuck because you're alive and you think, how would it be without me now? What I've done in my life, how I use my time, and
how will I be remembered to the people that matter?
Yeah, exactly. So I started to freak out about these things, and it took time to just like settle with myself with all these things because it's not easy. You start feeling super guilty. You start feeling like the only thing I was proud straight away was the music, was the art, because I know that everything I've done in my life on that side of my life, I really put 110%. I really put like all my efforts, all my it's a pure journey. And so I was so proud, and I wanted to express that, and I wanted also to express that is not like art and the artist are two different things. So that's why I can never die, and not I will never die, because you can't, like when you're gone, especially when it's something like that happens like out of the blue, you cannot do anything. You're gonna stay, and that is the portrait of yourself, of your life, of how you've been. If you did that, is what is gonna stay. And so we have to, while we are living, we have to remember that whatever we do is gonna stay in the memory of others. If you're an artist, it's even worse, because it's also your art is gonna stay. But as human beings, if you are a piece of shit, you're gonna be a piece of shit forever, and you really want to be that. It's not up to. It's not something that you can modify. You can put your hands on forever. After a while, there's gonna be like a day when you're gonna be not able anymore to change the perception that people have of you, and that is gonna stay. Yep. So
wow, I've never really thought about it.
Fucked up, man.
So no, that's actually like I've never really thought. So it's like your life is your life, but the perception of the way you leave this world isn't your life anymore. It's
gonna carry on by itself.
Yeah, you'll carry on through memories of other people, and how you are remembered is how you would have lived.
Yeah,
I've heard.
I think whenever we do something like, okay, I'm gonna do this easy thing, but it's the wrong thing, instead of doing the right, but it's hard. And whenever we took that path, we have to remember that the consequences of taking that path are gonna affect the other people, and that kind of things, it's what is gonna stay.
Yeah, definitely.
Most likely, the bad things are gonna stay more than the good ones.
Well, so I mean, you talk
so
about
we have to take it carefully.
It's just like kids. They never remember the 100 good things they do for you. They remember the 5 bad things that you did to them in the day.
So I wanted to ask. I mean, you got FLESHGOD APOCALYPSE. Like you've. I mean, something else I've seen you kind of mention in talking about this new album is almost the creation of a new genre, in a way, of like opera metal, and you very much, unlike a lot of bands that are heavy bands that utilize symphonic elements in the background, FLESHGOD APOCALYPSE very much treats guitar, bass, vocals as just elements within a larger orchestra of instrumentation. Is that like, I feel like that's a great example of, the diversity in heavy metal these days. Like a lot of it, there's an explosion of diversity in sort of the late 90s, early 2000s, and that's kind of continued a bit. And we've seen that again here. I wanted to ask, like, as someone that's involved in music, that's kind of pushing the boundaries almost, is there any elements of heavy metal music that you think are like yet to be trod? You know, any element, any areas of metal music that are yet to be discovered, or do you think it's kind of all been done? And
in general, or
yeah,
in our music?
I mean,
In general.
both. Like, let's you know, if you've got
Like
time.
for us, it's a never ending journey. You know, like sometimes we don't even realize we the let me put it this way. FLESHGOD music sounds something that it's like something like it's the result of someone that really knew what he wanted to do.
Okay.
It's in my English is so I will try to do my best to.
No, your English is great.
So
It's better than mine.
let's say FLESHGOD music is the result of someone writing music that really knows what to do. But it's not true. The reality is that, yeah, technical wise, the package is like that, but the core, it's wild. So the fact that we have songs like Through Us Cards or Blood Clock, which are super heavy, super fast, super brutal, and songs that are acoustic or just piano songs in the career, and we basically treat them at the same level, means that we really have no clue where we're going when we start writing.
Okay.
Like, so is there any new territory to be discovered in the future? 100%. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know, like the evolution of the instrumentations, the evolution of techniques, the evolution of all this, the evolution of industry. So also the evolution of the type of contents, the evolution of the formats are going to push artists to develop. And I want to add something in here. Am I concerned about AI? No, because yes, for sure, it's gonna float the market. It's gonna steal the job of many technicians. That is true, but it will never be an artist. And an artist is exactly what I'm saying. You know, is someone that knows that at the end has to have something in his hands, like a sculpture, a song, a poet, whatever. But when it starts, it doesn't know where it's gonna go, you know. And if this kind of wild experience, this kind of adventure, is not something that can really be done, you know, by a computer. At least now, or maybe in the close future. Never say no, but never say never. But I mean, like I see this like so. It's just like sex, you know. It's something like it's so connected to the human feelings and human being, live shows and whatever, you know. Like, yeah, you can go and watch Dio hologram or whatever, but it's not the fucking same. It's never gonna and it will never be. And you can have a guy pretending to be, or you can have, but it's, you know, in your deep down, you know it. Yeah. Just like when you know.
Well, like what I was going to say,
it's just like when you go and pay for sex. It's like you're having sex, but you know you're gonna pay. So
that's the thing. Like, what do they say? You don't pay the girl to stay. You don't pay the girl to stay. You pay to leave.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the big thing with that is, it's like, you look at like what you were saying about AI. Like, people are really getting very, 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 very worried about, like, they will believe me, they will perfect sex robots and a whole bunch of other things before they come after us musicians. They're ripping all the musicians off. I mean, really good at the moment. They don't need to do.
I mean, like, I understand the concern. I understand the fact that that kind of it's like the whole world is going towards the direction of in every industries, every aspect of life is going towards quantities instead of quality. everywhere. So it's of course, sooner or later, someone will invent something to produce more, and that really has nothing to do with quality. But this happened many times in history. This happened so many times in history. You know, like we discovered the wheel, and things changed. And instead of making food, like growing vegetables for 100 people, we started growing vegetables for 1 million, and like population change and a lot of other issues came with this, and problems and whatever. But we kind of survived this kind of things. I mean, like you cannot stop technology, you cannot stop evolution in this way. And it's the only thing that it's a pain in the ass is that you see that it's the wrong direction. Instead of going to like making more Ferrari for everybody, we are accepting to have shitty cars, that broke, break. They're all the same. They break after 5 miles. But it's
But it's okay because you can just go buy a new one because it's cheap. It's cheap. It's everything's throwaway.
So I think we've only got a few minutes left before we got to say goodbye there. But no, don't apologize. Don't apologize. We love that passion.
Unless we can take it for longer.
We love that passion. So what? Obviously, this album is very. I mean, music is always very personal and vulnerable for those people that wrote it. But I feel like this especially so, given the personal experience that you're drawing from for that. Before people sit down and listen to the album, and they should listen to the album front to back, everybody, please listen to the whole thing.
Shuffle. No shuffle.
What's one thing that you want people to keep in mind when they listen to this album?
That they can fix everything. They can fix everything. Whatever happens to us is fixable. And when it's not fixable, for example, physically, you can fix it mentally. And that's what I've learned going in and out hospitals all the fucking day. Like, I was in and out hospitals and I was despaired. And I was the healthiest people going in and out the fucking hospital, And I felt so bad because I was so stupid and so close-minded. Like, even I always thought I was a smart guy. I was a sensitive guy. I was an empathic guy. But this showed me that I was like 100% of my potential of empathy with others. And you go there and you are concerned because your pinky don't move anymore well, while there's people that can barely move eyes. And they are happy because they have like some kind of good food for lunch, and you concerned because your gig in Los Angeles is not sold out. That's the fucking. And so this kind of things change you and teach you that you have no right to complain. Never. So you have to fix it. There's a way, and you can do it. So opera is about fixing yourself. It's not about death or the accident or misadventures or whatever. Those are those are the starting point of a bigger change in life.
I love that. That's great. That's so beautiful.
It's all about coming out the other side.
That's
surviving
so beautiful.
And coming out the other side bigger and better, and a new perspective and a change on life, a new you.
But like these things happen to me, and on the paper I'm worse than before because I'm physically have some issues, but at the same time I'm much better on the human level. That I'm almost have to be thankful for what happened. What I mean?
And that's what matters. That's what matters. Being always trying to be better on the human level, I think is super important. So, all right. Well, look, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today. We very, very much
really
appreciate that.
It. Thank you.
We're glad that you're on the mend and that you've taken such a challenging event and turned it into some absolutely beautiful art. The songs that we've heard off of this already are incredible. Easily, I think some of the best work that FLESHGOD has done.
Very well produced
I am
too.
so excited for the rest of the album. I'm so excited for the rest of the album. Thank you very, very much. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. The album comes out August 23rd. Get on it, listen to it front to back, because it's an opera and you have to do that. You can't just take one song. You got to listen to the whole thing.
No shuffle. Start to finish.
Thank you very, very much, my friend. You take care.
Goodbye,
and we'll catch you later.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Take care. Enjoy that beautiful Italian sunshine.